Darren Perdue all over the racetrack, and Tim Hall takes the win. Michael Oden with a hole shot right there. Can he take it on to victory? Yes, he can! Michael Oden punches his ticket. ET record in B-Gas even more.
Welcome to the Southeast Gassers Association at Gulfport, Mississippi, during the iconic Cruisin' the Coast. It was a day of racing to remember. Multiple ET records shattered, and the Southeast Gassers broke its all-time spectator attendance record once again. History was made with a first-time winner at just 21 years old, alongside fresh faces taking the season's top spots. Buckle up for a thrilling recap of the action.
Lots of tire spin right there. Brian Dalton takes the win. Brian Dalton Sr. right there takes the win. There's a lot of tire smoke there for Don Wilmot. All right, number one qualifier, Randy Kiefer out of Cookeville, Tennessee in the 1956 Pontiac Chieftain, the Spine Tingler. Going to be taking on Alan Lovelady out of Hayden, Alabama in the Underdog, the 1967 Camaro. Randy Kiefer takes that number one qualifying spot and moves on to round number two. Randy Kiefer moves to round number two. Now the next pair up should be Jerry Dean, the number two qualifier, versus the number five qualifier, Kim Haynes in the Bad Apple. Jerry Dean, and good morning, good evening, and good night as he moves to round number two here in Superstock. All right, SEGA starting it off right here. Brad Wimberly in the Southern Sizzler over there in the 62 Comet. He'll be in the Quick Time Performance left-hand side. And in the Mortgage Auctions lane on the right-hand side, the Shelbyville, West Virginia driver Diana Casto in the Quick Draw. She'll be here on the right-hand side. Diana Castro, you heard her in the interview that I had with her a little bit earlier, said that her reaction time wasn't where it needed to be. And really and truly, that's what got her right there, as Brad Wimberly had an 08 light. She had a 339 light. So. All right, Andrew Weeby coming up next into 47 Austin. He'll be in the Mortgage Options right lane, and he'll be he's the number 8 qualifier taking on the number 3 qualifier here in Tim Hall out of Abbeville, South Carolina, driver of the Scalded Dog Rambler. Tim Hall taking a win right there, but Andrew Weeby making a great pass. That is one of his better passes, elapsed time-wise, that we have seen. All right, Larry Cummins, the Jumping Jack Flash, the number 6 qualifier, going to be in the Mortgage Options right lane. And in the left lane, the number 5 qualifier, Ernie Smith, in the Saturday Night Special, will be over in the Quick Time Performance left side. Ernie Smith with a whole shot win right there. Larry Cummins out ET'd him, but Ernie Smith with a 093 light on the tree. All right, Sharon Purdue out of Peoples, Ohio. He'll be over in the Quick Time Performance lane. The Quick Time Performance lane on the left side with his 62 Chevy 2 wagon, the Stud Muffin. He'll be taking on Sean McLemore into your Huckleberry, the 1955 Chevy. Purdue takes the win right there, the number 2 qualifier. He'll move on to second round right there. Todd Oden, the number 1 qualifier, by virtue of being the number 1 qualifier, is going to receive a bye right here. So he'll move on to second round where he'll take on Ernie Smith. Now Todd Oden has the opportunity. It looks like he's just going to take a Saturday afternoon cruise right here at Gulfport Dragway by taking the green light. He's going to save that car. Not worry about the lap time. All right, moving into B-Gas right here. Kevin Burt, the number 1 qualifier, going to be in the Mortgage Options right lane. He's going to be taking on the number 10 qualifier in Greg Adams in the Hillbilly Hoodlum. Kevin Burt takes the win right there in convincing fashion. So Kevin Burt moves on to round number 2. Next up, Kimberly, Alabama racer Ken Rainwater going to be in that Mortgage Options right lane. And he's going to take on the dirt man, Rick Varner, who's over into the Quick Time Performance left lane in his 55 Chevy. Keeley bringing back Ken Rainwater, Rick Varner trying to get him up to the line now. Danny Preston and Mike Bully Wiles also helping out with the tuning and suspension over there for Rick Varner. It's like Bully's trying to get the door closed on that 55 Chevy. Varner gets there first in a heck of a drag race. Margin of victory right there. 16 thousandths of a second at the stripe. I got to be honest with you, Daniel Haynes may have escaped right there because that car left very violently from the line. Ted McKee moves on to the victory right there, and he'll move to the second round. All right, Jimmy Martin in the ditch digger, that 1955 Bel Air right there in the Mortgage Options right lane. He's from Social Circle, Georgia. I've been messing that up all weekend. And then the 21-year-old Michael Oden out of Birmingham, Alabama in the double down two. Another one bites the dust.
Man, he left second and powered it down and got the win.
And I'm telling you what, that was an impressive feat. All right, moving into A gas now. The kings of the sport here in the Southeast Gas, the fastest cars on the property. 6 pounds per cubic inch of displacement for these cars. First pair out, we've got Rob Walden, who's going to be on a competition single right here because Chase Howard, you heard us have to radio for help for him at the end of the racetrack. He has had a pretty bad failure. Yeah, he's had a mechanical failure on that USA 1 car. Next up, we got Greg Stelz in the Joker, the 1957 Pontiac, over in the Quick Time Performance lane. Stelz going to be taking on Kenneth Phillips. Kenneth Phillips, the number 5 qualifier here today, and Stelz, the number 4 qualifier. Stelz in the left-hand lane, the Quick Time Performance lane, and Kenneth Phillips in his 1958 Corvette from Campbell, South Carolina, is going to be over here in the Mortgage Options side. Stelz knocking off Kenneth Phillips right there. That's a big win for Greg Stelz. I know he'll feel happy about that. The number 8 qualifier, Jeffrey Ferguson in the Mississippi Missile out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Going to be taking on the number 1 qualifier, current points leader, and 2020 world champion in our A-gas category, Leslie Horn in the Chick Magnet. Leslie Horn gets there first, but Jeffrey Ferguson got to be feeling good about ripping off that ET right there. All right, next matchup, going to have the number 2 qualifier, Ben Christopher, going up against the number 7 qualifier, Barry Lynn. Both of these guys out of South Carolina. Ben Christopher going to be in the Quick Time Performance left lane. Barry Lynn going to be over in the Mortgage Options right lane. Big Christopher takes the win right there as Barry Lynn bounced it a little bit coming down in first gear. All right, moving into our AFX category. You heard me interview this guy before. This is Todd Wimberly out of McDonough, Georgia, in the Southern Comfort right here. Beautiful little Falcon right here, mechanically fuel injected. All right, next up, Robbie Walden in the Moonshot 2 right here. Lamar Walden race engine, methanol injected, mechanical fuel injected car. Unfortunately, they've been struggling with a few things on that car. When it rips off a run, it makes a great one, but looks like this time they're not going to be able to make a pass right here. Rob Walden driving the Dixie Twister this weekend, being brought back by Alexis Phillips right here, backup girl in the Dixie Twister. Rob Walden builds the motor for this car, as he does for just about, well, all of the AFX category out of the Lamar Walden Race Shop down in Doraville, Georgia. All right, I see Ernie Smith coming around the corner right here. He's going to be over into Quick Time Performance left lane, as he had lane choice over Todd Oden, who just chose to take a leisurely drive down the right-hand lane. Todd Oden going to be in the Mortgage Options lane in his 58 Delray, the Double X. Winner of this one going to get Jaron Purdue, who has a bye in the next round. Todd Oden takes the win right there, putting Ernie Smith out. Todd Oden moves on to round number 3. All right, next up right here, Bad Brad Wimberly coming up in the Mortgage Options right-hand side in the Southern Sizzler, that 62 Comet. He's going to be taking on Tim Hall in the Scalded Dog Rambler, that 67 Rambler out of Abbeville, South Carolina.
Sorry, John.
Tim Hall takes the win right there after being treed just a little bit on the line. Margin of victory right there, a tenth of a second. Jaron Purdue going to get the bye right here by virtue of being the number 2 qualifier. Heather Peak bringing back Jaron Purdue out of Peoples, Ohio in the stud muffin, that 1962 Chevy 2 wagon. G-Book power underneath the hood right there, 289 cubic inches. Judging by that burnout, he's going to go for, he's going to make a run for a lap time to try to better Todd Oates' run right there and see if he can get lane choice. Right there, Jaron Purdue will receive lane choice right there over Todd Oden. All right, Pete Gass coming up next right here. Kevin Burt coming around the corner. He'll have a solo right here by being the number 1 qualifier, and the number of cars that we have registered here today, it works out for him to receive a bye run right here. All right, folks, I got to bring you up to speed. Jared Perdue in the stud muffin just took over Todd Oden and reset the world record in C-Gas. And in that run right there by Kevin Burt, he lowered his own ET record in B-Gas even more. Next up, battle of the #1 versus #2 point winners so far this year. The man that's leading the points, Daniel Haynes, is a Patriot. He is in the quick time performance left lane. And the man that's trying to chase him down sits in the mortgage options right lane. That is Ted McKee, who also happens to be our defending world champion from last year. So that was a big matchup right there where Daniel Haynes takes the win. So he'll take on Kevin Burt in one of the semifinals. Next up, the dirt man, Rick Varner, out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Going to be taking on the 21-year-old Michael Oden, the #2 qualifier here today out of Birmingham, Alabama, in his Chevy 2 called the Double Down 2. Turns on the red light, does Rick Varner. So Michael Oden going to the finals right here today at your racecation destination, the Gulfport Dragway. All right, back to AFX right here. Todd Wimberly in the Southern Comfort coming around the corner right here in the water box on the mortgage options right-hand lane. Takes it down the track in fine fashion right there and staying very consistent to his previous run. All right, Alan Platt up next in the Georgia Shaker 3. Going to make a run in the quick time performance left lane over there. That's one of the fastest runs in AFX today. But here comes Robbie Walden, the third generation Walden driver out of Doraville, Georgia, in the Moonshot 2 Plymouth. All right, here we go, super stock. We got the semifinals coming up right here. Jerry Dean and Bryant Dalton Sr. coming up. Winner of this is going to take on Randy Keeper, who has a bye in this round for the final. Karen bringing back Jerry Dean right here. Jerry out of Lacey Spring, Alabama. He's going to race the Sevierville, Tennessee racer Bryant Dalton Sr. in his Falcon Ventura. Jerry Dean takes the win right there, and he continues his streak of unbeaten rounds. He is trying to make a clean sweep of the entire fine particular of Randy Keeper, the 1956 Pontiac Chieftain, that is coming around the corner here very soon to make his single run right here. Keeper was the #1 qualifier here today. Keeper going to run into Mortgage Auction's right lane. 406 cubic inch Butler Performance motor underneath the hood for him. Randy Keeper definitely making it exciting right there and get those front wheels up in the air. As we've got final set between he and Jerry Dean, and you know it's almost come down to those two every race this year. He and Jerry Dean in our Super Stock final. All right, Tim Hall going to have a bye run right here by virtue of his qualifying spot at number 3. That's a good run right there, one of the best runs of the day for Tim Hall. I know he'll be very excited about that elapsed time. And Terry Purdue going to be over into Quick Time Performance left-hand side, probably the most advantageous lane there. He's in that 62 Chevy 2 wagon called the Stud Muffin. He's out of Peoples, Ohio with a G-Sport small block underneath the hood. Todd Oden, One-Way Technology motor underneath the hood for him in the big 1958 Delray out of Birmingham, Alabama. Aaron Purdue takes the win right there and he sets another world record. He continues to lower the world record in C gas, and that's what it took because Todd Oden had, man, that was only 0.03 of a second margin of victory right there for Jared Purdue. All right, B gas right here, great matchup coming your way right here. super fast cars, Kevin Burt and Daniel Haynes. Winner of this was going to take on Michael Oden in the finals, who has a bye-run next pass right here coming up after these guys. Robin Harris helping out over there with Kevin Burt out of Utica, Kentucky. Burt, the current world record holder, as he reset it here today, he's going to try to even go further than that, I'm sure, to beat Daniel Haynes here today. Kevin Burt takes the win right there, and Kevin Burt continues to lower the world record. You just saw another world record run in B gas here by Kevin Burt. All right, Michael Oden right here is going to take a shot at lane choice, as he's going to try to lay it on the line right here, because he's going to be taking on Kevin Burt in the final. And Burt just reset a world record. Darn good run by Michael Oden, but nothing to take lane choice right there. But he is in the finals once again. All right, first pair out, Rob Walden is going to be in the right-hand mortgage option side. He's going to be taking on Ben Christopher in the Quick Time Performance left lane in the Happy Days Chevy 2. Christopher takes the win right there, puts Rob Walden on the trailer after a good round today by Rob Walden. These guys best of friends, but they already been in the water box, so now there's no love lost right here till they get to the return road. Leslie Horn goes into pre-stage first. Greg Stelp still not moving. There he creeps in. Double bulbs up. Here we go. Leslie Horn takes the win right there. All right, Alan Platt right here in the Georgia Shaker 3 with that 427 cubic inch FE Ford motor underneath the hood. He's going to try to slay Robbie Walden out of there in that Plymouth. Robbie Walden trying to bring it up there to his backup girl, Alexis Phillips, right there as he gets that big Plymouth. Both of these cars mechanically fuel injected, run on methanol. Robbie Walden with a whole shot advantage. Is that going to be enough to take the win? And it is. Robbie Walden takes the win right here. All right, Jerry Dean and Randy Keeper, a sight that is not unlikely to be seen in our Super Stock Finals. Jerry Dean out of Lacey Spring, Alabama, in his little lightweight, small block Chevy here in the Mortgage Options right lane, and in the Quick Time Performance left lane, we have Randy Keeper in the spine signaling. Leaves before the tree gets activated for him, so he's going to get no time. And Randy Keeper is going to win here today.
Hey, red hot.
Congratulations, brother! You finally got the monkey off your back, huh?
Man, I'm telling you, it's been a long, tiring year. I really, it was just so tough. Like I told him earlier, I feel like we've made Jerry a little tougher, and I think he's definitely made us tougher. Just reaching for everything we can do, and it turned out today. So I told Ray earlier, he said, what is it going to take to win one? And I said, he's just got to mess up a little bit, and we've got to be on our game. So it kind of came together today.
And that left lane over there, it really was the advantageous lane to be in.
It was for me. I mean, we could get down it pretty good. Actually had to calm the car down. You could tell it was rearing up more than it ever has. And we had to kind of mess with launch RPM and a few things to get it to calm down, but it was fun to drive for sure.
Well, it's going to be a good trip back to Cookeville, Tennessee, because you got a little $700 cushion plus a little bit of win money right here. You ought not have any problem with fuel on the way home.
No, I'm definitely not going to have a problem with fuel, but we use this as a mini vacation, and all my team bring their wives down for this, and we're just really blessed and pleased that we can get a little support on the way home.
Well, what a great place to do it at. You got your team here, you got extended family here. Congratulations to you, man.
Thank
you. You broke through and broke the Jerry Dean curse here today, and you got your first win in 2024, and we're proud of you.
Thank you very much.
That's Randy Keefer, your winner today in Superstock.
Have a good one, man.
All right, SEGA. Matchup of our two-time defending world champion Tim Hall in the 67 Rambler, the Scalded Dog. He'll be in the Mortgage Options right lane. Tim Hall builds his own motors right there. His brother Tony, his dad George, and mom Jane make up the Hall family racing team. And then you got Jared Perdue over there from Peoples, Ohio, in that stud Muffin, who has already reset the world record here at SEGA twice. Going to try to do it again here and make his third race win in a row. As I said before, Perdue has won our last two races, trying to make it 3 in a row. He's going to be backed up by Heather Peak out there in front of the stud Muffin. Alexis Phillips bringing Tim Hall back, getting him ready to go. Jared Perdue all over the racetrack, and Tim Hall takes the win. Tim Hall got him on the tree right there and out ET'd him as Jared Perdue was all over the racetrack out there, but it looks like he basically kept it off the wall. So that is Tim Hall taking the win in the Scalded Dog Rambler, and what a win for Tim Hall. Tim Hall, congratulations, buddy. I mean, you had to climb a mountain to get here today and see gas.
Yeah, it was a tough field for sure. Two cars just battling for the record all day long, and I couldn't play in that playground, so I just went out and tried to do the best I could with what I had. And he bobbled on the track a little bit in the final, and I was close enough that when the little bobble happened, I was there. So you don't always have to be the fastest car, and obviously don't have to cut the best light, because I didn't cut a great light in the final, but it worked out. And it feels good because it's been a long time since we won one, and we got a little, disheartened with it, because it's hard to win a whole lot and then have a dry spell. It's tough.
Well, you are the two-time defending world champion, and that does not come lightly, and nobody takes you lightly out here. But like you said, that's why Quayne Stott initially made it this way with no scoreboards on, so they don't see some electric elapsed time and then yours not there, because we got to still race these cars. And like you said, you raced your car efficiently, and he made a bobble, and you were there to take advantage of it.
Right. That's the only hope we really had. We had to just do our race and hope it worked out, and it did. And it don't matter how you win. Sometimes an ugly win is better than a pretty loss.
That's right.
And I fully believe that, and just appreciate everybody that helps us out and makes this possible. Like I said, Molly Motorsports, Gary Williams Carburetors, Roofing Unlimited, Steffes Auto Salvage, Mom and Daddy for the motorhome and all the gas it takes to get to and from, and Alexis being my backup girl, my wife at home, keeping everything going while we were here. She called me and said the power went back out after it had come back on for the storm, but it did come back on a couple hours later. So, you don't think about that. You go off and you leave home and you just think everything's fine. Well, she had to deal with that without me there, so I appreciate her for that.
Well, you are a great team with your wife, Krista, and we know that the Hall family is one that we're proud to have here in the Southeast Gassers and proud to represent us. Congratulations today on your win, Tim, and much more success to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Tim Hall, your winner here in SEGA today. All right, Michael Oden, the 21-year-old out of Birmingham, Alabama, sitting in the mortgage options right lane in his 62 Chevy 2. One-way technologies horsepower underneath the hood for him. He's going to be taking on Kevin Burt, the man out of Utica, Kentucky, who has reset the B-gas record a couple of times here today. He'll be over in the quick time performance lane on the left-hand side. Michael Oden with a hole shot right there. Can he take it on to victory? Yes, he can! Michael Oden punches his ticket the first time this kid takes it to the victory circle. Michael Oden with an 028 light. Hole shot victory for Michael Oden right there with an 028 light.
Congratulations, Daddy.
Congratulations, brother. All right, Michael Oden, the 21 years that you have been on this earth, did you ever think you'd be in this position right now?
Well, I knew I'd be here. I just didn't know when it would be.
Did you feel like this is a quick way to get here, or you think it would take you longer?
I honestly thought it would take me, I thought it would be maybe next year until I actually got in the winner's circle, since it was just my first year in this car.
Well, you've been feeling real comfortable in the car for mid-season. Your driving has been on point. I mean, your lights have been great. So it's no surprise to me that you're in victory lane.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I know I've been telling you that, but today with all the world records falling and falling and falling, you know, the persistence that you stayed right there with him, I mean, you're there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what my dad's been telling me. If I just keep going, keep trying, then I'll just keep getting better, and I'll eventually get here.
And here you are at one of the fastest racetracks we go to, one of the best racetracks that we go to. And when you got here today, what were your thoughts and what were your emotions?
Honestly, I thought that, you know, I'd make it probably to the semifinals, and then I'd be on my way to the house.
Well, thank goodness for unanswered prayers, right?
Yes, sir.
And Michael, what do you see as far as the future? I mean, you see yourself staying in B gas, or you see yourself maybe moving up to A? What do you see?
I'm going to stay in B for a little bit. It's pretty competitive, and I like the speed that I'm at. Once I get a little bit more experience under my belt, then I'll want to move forward. But for now, I'm happy where I'm at.
Well, this One-Way Technologies motor really performed well for you today. Talk about what you had to do and how you had to make adjustments in between rounds.
Really, the only adjustment we did was we changed our fuel, I forgot what it's called.
The jetting on the carburetor.
Carburetor jet. Or we're not carbureted because we got fuel injection, but
okay,
it's still a jet, yes, sir, and our pill. So changed that and changed my clutch gap, and that was it. I had to change the clutch gap because I messed it up.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that. You're going to learn sometime. But, Michael, congratulations. Your first ever victory here today at Gulfport Dragway. Your winner here in B-Gas, Michael Odom. All right, Ben Christopher in the happy days, that 66 Chevy 2. He'll be in the Mortgage Options right-hand lane. Both of these drivers, neighbors, guys that eat lunch with us all the time up there where we live in Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Both of these guys from that hometown. And here they are in the final. Ben Christopher, 477 cubic inches of big block Chevy under the hood for him. Leslie Horn, the man that is the current points leader and pretty much has it wrapped up in A-gas. Ben Christopher electing for the short, intense burnout right there.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
All right, Leslie Horn, it's getting to be old hat here with you. I mean, the car's running flawlessly, and you're doing a pretty good job of driving.
Yeah, I did do pretty good driving tonight. You know, I had mostly 03s all day except for that last one there with the Ben. I left the door open there for him, but I think he had a little bit of struggle there on the light. I didn't see what happened to him, but I knew though Ben was right there. He was tit for tat. Every time I'd run a number, he'd be right there with it within 100th, you know. So I was really worried about Ben, which I was worried about all of them. The Joker, you know, he's running really good in that round before this, you know. I thought he would be right there with me, but I think he had something, spun or something there too. So it's all right. That's what I was just telling Ray. It was anybody's race that comes down here. The 10 cars that came, the 10 that showed up, any of them could win at any time. So, and in A-gas, you know, if you leave, you spin, you turn the steering wheel, it's over with. I mean, and that's just how tight it is. So anyway, I'm just glad to get here and get this one, Enemy 2, are done. Let's move on to the final race at Shadyside.
Well, speaking of the final race at Shadyside, by my raw calculations, that puts you as our 2024 world champion with this today. I mean, all you got to do is just show up at Shadyside, and you should come out as a 3-time world champion.
Yeah, it was, you know, after first round, it was sewed up. So yeah, I am 24th champion in AGS too.
How does that make you feel to be in one of the, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're the first man to win 3 world championships in 2 different categories.
It may be. We'll have to look at it and see. But yeah, it feels good. But you know, it's as always, you get to know all these guys and you race with them, and you know you want them to do good too, and you try to help them. And you know, it's bittersweet to outrun them. You know, I want to outrun every time I get out there, but still, sometimes it feels bad. You know, but when like I say, when you put that helmet on, you know it's over with. You know, we just do what we do. I'm not one of those that can lay down. I got to keep pushing, and I want to do a better every time I go. I want to make a better pass, and it just is what it is.
Well, Leslie, congratulations on your win here today at Gulfport Dragway and your 2024 World Championship. Well, you'll be a great representative for us.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody come out tonight here to Gulfport Dragway. This has been probably an epic, one of the best ones that I've been to. I'm a little down now, a little drained. I'm just exhausted. I hadn't eaten no lunch. Didn't realize that till a while ago. But thank y'all all for coming out, and I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing all y'all next year.
That's Leslie Horn, your AGAS winner here tonight at Gulfport Dragway.